Hello.
Welcome to the Reknit podcast. I am making sure that stays in because Roz just made a stupid face. And so that's going to be the beginning of a podcast, which I think is a good thing. My name is Emily.
I'm Roz. I do the editing of the podcast, so we'll see.
And welcome to episode number 15 of the Reknit podcast. We have quite a busy ep today.
Yeah. Very exciting news.
Yes, we have our first giveaway, which is incredibly exciting. And because of that, we've now also started up a Ravelry group. So, we'll put a link to the Ravelry group down below, and I'll talk more about it a little bit later. But yeah, we have a Ravelry group and a giveaway. A good giveaway as well, a really good giveaway.
Yep.
So that's quite exciting.
Yes, we're very excited.
Are you starting?
You can start.
Okay. So, works in progress. I am still doing these lovely socks. These are West Yorkshire Spinners. You can't massively see on there, but I've got the other one. West Yorkshire Spinners socks in their hollyberry or something like that colour way.
Yeah, I think it's hollyberry.
And then there's just a generic dark green sock yarn. I don't know what it is. For heels, toes and cuffs. That was one. And I'm just starting the second one. Yeah, it's nice actually. I put it on the sock blocker this morning for the first time, and I'm quite chuffed with how it looks. It looks very pretty. So that's good. Not too much to say about that one really. The second one, I have to get out the bag. Hang on. I can't remember what point I was up to with my sweater when we last podcasted, but it has an arm on it, so that's quite exciting. This is the second arm. It's not much of a second arm. I've done the I've done the cuff and like the bottom of the sleeve, but that's as far as I've got with the second arm so far.
Have you shown the first time on the podcast?
I think I've shown me knitting it. I don't think I've shown it attached because I'm sure I did it last weekend, but I can't remember. So this is the jumper. In fact, I probably haven't shown it attached together in that case. So this is the jumper. It's not got a collar on it yet because that goes on the end. Here is an arm. That's one arm attached, ends to weave in obviously. That's one arm attached. It's got an absolutely mahoosive armhole, which is quite big, so I don't know how I feel about that. But it's huge. Look, it's like half the side of the jumper is armhole. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about.
How does it fit on you? I can't remember.
It fits all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's designed to be worn, and it's a jumper, not to be like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it fits okay. It's just quite a big arm. Let me see how big the armhole is. But that's what it's looking like. So I have the second arm to knit and attach, and then just the finishing off to do. But it's looking like a jumper now, and you can see the cool pattern, which feels all like ruffly
Texture.
Yeah. So it's good. I'm liking it. I just need to get it done now, really. It's not too shabby. That is from Knitwear Love, which is a book by Amy Herzog, is it?
Yeah, that is the classic jumper, I believe.
Possibly. Look, I've got a cool basket. Right.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
Knitwear Love, which is also where your jumper that you are currently sporting comes from.
Yes, I'm wearing a jumper.
Which we will get to later. But I am doing...
So I'm wearing, but this is very exciting.
The classic. And in fact, I'm doing it kind of in the colour that it has. So, a classic pullover that looks like that. In quite a similar colour.
Yeah, yours is orangier.
Yeah, mine's a bit more sort of coppery. That one's a bit browner.
Isn't the yarn called copper?
Possibly, yes. It's being knit in Stylecraft acrylic, which is good because it's nice and cheap. And it's what I knit my other jumper out of. So that is that. I'm hoping to have made some progress on it in the not too distant future. So that's those two. I'm whipping through my whips really quickly. And the other thing that I'm currently knitting, which is a new thing that I've now... There it is. Bags everywhere. So, I am using this, which is a terrible cake because it's starting to fall to pieces. But this is the Down Sheepy Lane from their Stephen King Stock Yarn Club. It's the Overlook, which you might remember I showed on the podcast a few episodes ago. So that's the shining yarn. And what I'm using it for, I'm knitting matching shawls for me and a friend out of this yarn. And you can't really see the shawl very well because it's very scrunched up. but it's got sort of a diamond pattern around the outside, and then just a stocking it stitch in the middle, and then a pattern across the top. And it's, I think it's called the Best Friends shawl, I think. Well, hang on, let me just see what it's called. It's called A Girl's Best Friend. There you go. I knew it was something to do with best friend. And you can either knit it as a shawlette, which is what this is, where you put the stockingette bit in the middle, or you can not bother with that and just do the bits around the outside and make it like a little kerchief. But I thought the pattern was going to be really complicated because it's all done in sections and you just knit different sections at different times, but actually it was dead easy to follow. And I'm just starting to do the top bit. You can see the sort of lace pattern across the top. I'm just starting to finish off the top. So I'm hoping that when I block it, it will stretch out quite a lot because it's quite scrunched up on the needle, and also it's not been blocked yet. So I'm going to block it like flip and try and make it as wide as possible. And hopefully that will be a nice little shawlette. But I wanted a pattern, because this is 100 grams of sock yarn, I wanted a pattern that would take, like, I think this is 425 meters. Yeah, so I wanted a pattern that would take about 200 meters of yarn, so I could do 2 of them, and this one does. So yeah, I'm hoping that this will be done fairly soon. I might even get it done today. I just need blocking, but we can't do that until probably next week, because we won't be in a place to do blocking.
No, we don't have blocking mats.
Yeah, and that is all my whips, I think. Nothing very exciting. Most of them I've shared before and I've just done a little bit more on, so you know, hey ho.
Oh, I've got a terrible tangle here.
Right.
Terrible tangle. Right. Is it my turn?
It is.
Okay. I am currently working on a colour work mitten, which I've barely started the colour work of. You can just sort of see, maybe, a pattern emerging. This is what it's going to look like. So I've nearly done a whole row of little square things. So it's really very much only just begun. But this is out of Little Grey Sheep Hampshire 4-ply, Hampshire sock, Hampshire yarn, something, which I bought in London in August, which I'm finally getting around to knitting. But mostly I'm not knitting on it because I'm knitting on other things. I've been slightly bitten by the jumper bug. So I'm wearing a jumper and I've knit other jumpers. This is the start of another flax. Well, it's kind of based on flax, but I'm modifying it slightly, so it's not really very flaxish, because I'm doing a twisted rib instead of ordinary rib, and I've done some short rows at the back to make the back longer than the front, so that it comes up to sort of the back of my neck here, but doesn't come across here in a sort of slightly strangly way. So this is out of Aldi Aran, it's just called Aran yarn.
It's
Yes,
huge.
you get a massive ball of yarn from Aldi for £4, and then I got another massive
I think we
ball.
should, hold this one up just to see the
Yeah.
comparison. See? Big.
Yeah.
Big ball of yarn.
So I need 2 to do a jumper out of this massive yarn. And I'm not doing the garter stitch on the sleeves. And yeah, it's basically just, it's only just started. I've only done about 8, I think, of the 30 increases for the raglan sleeves. So it's not hugely, doesn't look like much of anything yet. But that is being in that has been I've been knitting that for a couple of days. It's been being a work in progress for a couple of days. And then the final thing that I'm not really knitting on, but I have knit since the last podcast, is I finally finished the sock.
Fuck. It's not on your sock marker.
No, it's not. I'm a terrible podcaster, but I literally had to just knit a few more rows of toe and then graph the toe together. But now here, one finished sock of a pair. This multicoloured yarn is Stylecraft Head Over Heels. Yes. In the Ingleborough colourway, which is a mountain in, I think, the Peak District. I think it's a British mountain somewhere. this jazzy colour for the heel and the toe is Sour Apple from West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. And that's really all there is to say about that.
Right, so I haven't got any finished objects, so
I might have a finished object. It might be like right here. My jumper.
I can display the book for you.
Oh,
How about
yeah.
that? It'll be the book display. I'll find a picture of Knitwear. You talk. I'll
Yes.
display.
It is the casual tunic from Knitwear Love, knit with Stylecraft Ethical Twist, which is a DK yarn that's I think 70% wool, 40%
There we go.
alpaca. Yeah, that's basically it. Only mine is paler.
Yeah.
And there's a lacy pattern on the back of that jumper in the book, but mine does not. Mine's a plain jumper because I couldn't be bothered, basically. And I didn't want like a fussy jumper. That, yeah, I don't want.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
the
we-
lacy pattern on the back.
Yeah, I didn't do that. So yeah, it's basically. I'll tell you what. I'll put either a tiny video or a couple of photos in now.
Did you like spill coffee or something all over this book?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll put a video in or some. I will show you, you know, me wearing the jumper like full length, not sitting down. This is basically. I've been knitting this since August, but I've taken breaks to knit other things. And I've knit, I think 4 or 3.5 sleeves for this blooming jumper.
You have to tell the story of the latest sleeve mishap because we haven't
Yeah.
told that one. That was
Yeah.
the best one as well.
Yeah. So last episode's podcast was called Sad About Sleeves. This one is like,
Now we have dangerous sleeves.
yeah, this is, you know, serious sleeving mishaps. So yeah, I reknit this sleeve to, you know, actually fit my arm and not be horrendously stretched. And then this sleeve, which you can't even see, I knit. I was all ready to about to sort of mattress stitch it into the sleeve hole, and I thought because I'd knit most of this yarn into a jumper before, well, into a cardigan, that was a terrible fit. It was too short in the body and way too huge in the arms, and it was just terrible. So I unpicked that and unravelled all the yarn, and then when I was knitting the sleeve, I was using yarn that had been knit previously, so it was a bit kinky and the fabric wasn't very smooth. I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll steam it. So I have in the kitchen a pan with like a steamer thing on top, and I put it in there for a bit, but it was getting wet. Where the boiling water was sort of bubbling through the steam holes. It was getting wet, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll just hold it over the pan, and then it won't be quite so close to the boiling water. What I forgot in holding it over the pan was that as part of it was over the side of the pan and curving down towards the flames of the gas stove top that I have, is that part of the jumper caught fire. I don't know if you ever set any of your knitting on fire, but after you've set stitches on fire, they tend to break.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it was only a tiny bit. It was only like the first and second stitch, or the last and second to last stitch on one side, but because it was sort of about that far, I had to pick up stitches below where there was fire damage, pick up stitches above where there was fire damage, pull out the bit with the fire damage, and then reknit the whole of. If it had been in the middle, I could have. I don't know how I'd have set it on fire in the middle.
Well,
but anyway, I had to reknit all those rows and then graft them together. So you can still kind of see, because I haven't yet washed these pieces. The front and back have been blocked. The sleeves and the neck edge haven't been blocked because I wanted to wear this jumper, and I didn't want to wear it while it was damp. So yeah, I've now rescued this sleeve. So this part of the sleeve has been knit 4 times. On this one twice, and on this one twice. And the rest of the parts of the sleeve have been knit 3 times overall to give me 2 actual working sleeves. So yeah, it's a nice jumper. It's very warm. It's very cozy. It's yeah, I'm very pleased with it. The sleeves, I'm not entirely happy with the way they're fitting at the moment. There seems to be sort of baggy and weird at the top, but that might be because I haven't blocked the whole jumper yet. It might be that if when it's been washed and laid flat to dry nicely, it will smooth itself out, or it may be that it won't. So I'll find out after that. But yeah, I'm very pleased with my casual tunic so far.
Very nice.
Possibly be washing and blocking it, or possibly my mother has a steamer, and we're going to my parents' house tomorrow, so I may just try and steam in a non-burning setting fire to way with a machine rather than a flame and a pan of water. So yeah, if you have, you know, the desire to steam bits of your knitting, I can recommend a safer method, which is doing it over the kettle as it boils. But you have to boil the kettle, and then after a bit the kettle clicks off because it stopped boiling, and you have to reboil it. It's slightly more fussy, but you're much less likely to set things on fire. So if you're, you know, the sort of idiot like me who may set things on fire, try the kettle method. Or, you know, put things in a steamer and keep them away from the kettle. So yeah, that's the story of this jumper.
Yes.
Parts of which have been, well,
set on fire.
Yeah. They're no longer part of the jumper anymore. So, you know. And then my second finished object is is huge. This is my flax jumper.
It's for both of us.
Yeah, we could literally, we could nearly fit both of us in it. It's quite a baggy jumper. Again, I'll probably put in a photo or a short video clip here of me wearing said jumper.
You've very much gone for a colour scheme with your jumpers so far. Hang on.
What have I done?
You hooked your jumper over my needle and then tried to pull it away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you're the one who says sorry. You're the one who's got a pulled stitch now.
Oh no, you ruined my jumper. So this was knit out of two balls of brown Aran from Aldi that I got a couple of weeks ago, and this took less than 2 weeks to knit on 5mm needles, which has turned out quite a big jumper, much bigger than it's a nice cozy jumper, sort of, you know, hanging about the house or going out for a walk, walking the dog or anything, but it's not a very smart jumper, whereas even though this jumper is called a casual tunic, I think this is smarter than this jumper. So I'm knitting my second go at flax, this one on 4.5mm needles, to combat some of the massiveness.
Enormousness.
Yeah. And because of the enormousness, when I got down to the sleeves, the cuffs on the sleeves, they were too baggy, so I did extra decreases and made them, well, now they've been worn, they don't seem to be pulling in quite as much. But they
did look teeny tiny.
Yeah, they
when
were.
You first did them. They were like the baby sleeves.
Yeah, tiny cuffs, and then whoosh. But because if I'm wearing it to keep warm, which is what this jumper is, I don't then want a breeze blowing up my sleeve. No, that was sort of counterproductive. And the hem is kind of a bit flippy up, see, even there you can see it's flipped up. So I'm mulling over what to do about that. I have over 100 grams left, so this jumper cost me less than £3.50 in like yarn, and then, you know, obviously I'm not going to pay myself to knit this jumper.
Hang on, you're stealing my yarn.
I'm sorry. So I might just pick up stitches up here and then re-knit the rib longer, or I might unpick the cast off, knit it a bit longer, and then sew it to the inside. I haven't yet decided, but at some point I'm going to have to fix my flippy hem on my jumper. But apart from that, it's very cozy. This also hasn't been washed, but it is machine washable, so I don't foresee any huge problems coming along when I do wash it. I have managed to, you know, not spill stuff on it.
So far.
Yeah, the very first jumper I ever knit was out of a single yarn, which is craziness because it pilled like nobody's business. But I spilled hot chocolate on that and washed it on a wool wash, which was fine, but didn't get the hot chocolate out. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll wash it on a hotter wash.
Sense.
And yeah, I I did get the hot chocolate out, but the jumper is now felted and fits nobody. So it's been cut up for. Well, I've now just got lots of bits of square grey felted wool that I don't really know what to do with. So if anyone has any suggestions, that would be great. But yeah, I'm not brilliantly lucky in the jumper so far. So maybe...
Well, you've set fire to that one. The other one, you felt it. So, yeah.
This one is just come out quite big. As jumpers go, this one is fairly mishap-free.
Good.
But maybe, I don't know, the bagginess will cause me to catch on something and, you know...
Just don't do any cooking wearing it. That's all.
Okay. So, yeah, that's my other finish of it. I've finished 2 jumpers in the last 2 weeks. It's very cool.
Very impressive.
I know, I'm going to be so warm.
You will.
So, yeah.
Right. We're going to talk a little bit about some spinning now. It was Spinning Guild on Saturday.
That it was.
Where's me? I have got some stuff. Oh, there's a tiny bit in there. Mine is currently on my wheel, so I can't really show it to you. But I've been spinning this stuff, of which there is a teeny sample sitting in the bag. It looks like that. This is from the Time Travellers Club, the Hilltop Cloud from December last year, and it's called Graphite, because you know, colour. And it's 12.5% linen, 37.5% swaledale, and 50% corriedale. So I've been spinning that up, and I've got a fair bit left, but I've spun the majority of it. And this was mainly because I wanted something easy and quick to spin that I could take to Spinning Guild to spin. But we also did a flax spinning workshop while we were there.
Yes.
So we had to go spinning some flax, which was really interesting, really good. I did mine on a drop spindle, but you did yours on your wheel.
Yeah.
And I learned a thing, which is that you spin flax the other way.
Yeah.
You spin wool in a clockwise direction and you spin flax in an anti-clockwise direction.
Yeah.
And handily, the drop spindle that I used, that the guy who was running the workshop, who has like a flax farm, he makes, they've got a little sign on the top of it that says wool with an arrow one way and flax with an arrow the other way, so you can remember which way you've got to go depending on what you're spinning, which is very useful. But I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting.
Yeah, they gave a talk first all about growing flax and the history of flax and
the flax mafia.
Yeah. Did you know there's a French flax mafia?
I'm sorry, a what?
A French flax mafia.
I see.
In France, they have a flax mafia.
Because they don't grow flax in the UK commercially, but they do grow it in France. And the guy wanted to start growing it in the UK, and then he got like threats from France. So now he gets his flaxseed from Holland,
where they,
where they don't threaten you when you try and grow your own flax.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
I've spun some flax. I spun it on my wheel.
You've got yours, haven't you?
Yeah. It's a bit hairy and crazy because you can sort of uncrazy and unhairy flax spinning by doing it either wet, which I think commercially they do. They soak the yarn, they soak the flax, then they spin it. But this is, or when you're spinning it by hand, you can like dip your fingers in water and smooth the flax and smooth these fibres in. But we didn't do that. We were just spinning.
But the way they spin it is just crazy pants.
So
because you have to tie it all together and then fan it all out and then like wind it round a big cone and then spin it off the cone.
Yeah, flax
Very
is
bizarre.
quite labour intensive, which is one of the reasons.
The staple is really, really, really long.
Yeah, the staple is as long as your flax plant is tall, basically. And so to spin it from that as a hand spinner, you have to once your flax is ready to spin, once it's like been prepped into a fibre, you have to sort of it's kind of a bit like making a rollag, in that you don't want all the fibres sort of in a straight line. You sort of jumble it up,
spread them out, and then roll it up.
Then roll it up a thing called a distaff, which we did, and then you spin from that distaff, and it's a bit like...
It is kind of like spinning from a rollag, but the rollag is like sitting on a cone, and you just pull it off the side rather than like pulling it off the front. I suppose. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same. But you need to have like sticks and cones and ribbons to tie your stuff together and all kinds of malarkey. So,
and that's once you've got the flax like ready to spin. When you
have to grow it and harvest it and leave it out in the sun for ages and then bash it. And
the reason why Britain no longer has a commercial flax industry is basically because you need a lot of machinery, and you need a lot more machinery than you do to say prep cotton for spinning, which is a much simpler process and requires a lot less machinery and different steps. So yeah, we learned about that. But flax is a lot stronger. I've got this flax now as a single, and it's
fairly strong.
It's very strong. I mean, I could ply it. I don't know whether I will ply this, but I have got some flax, which is tops, which is shorter pieces of flax that I'm going to spin, and I don't know whether I'm going to include this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is just, sitting on a bobbin as a sort of souvenir of...
Exhibition spinning.
Yeah. Having a fun sort of a go at spinning. Which is one of the things I really like about the guild, is if you want to have a little go at something, you can, people come along and do a workshop and you can borrow equipment, and it's not a massive financial outlay of, just having a little go at something. And then, or you could, often borrow bits of equipment from other members of the guild, or the guild has a drum carder we can hire if we want to do some drum carding. We have to buy a drum carder and then store a drum carder, which is the main problem of drum carding.
You got your other spinning to show as well?
Yep, the other spinning I've been doing for a few weeks now. This is some Gotland, which I won in a raffle at Spinning Guild, which is nearly a bobbin full of stuff I'm spinning. I showed, I think last time, a sample I'd spun that I didn't like. I'm now spinning it slightly differently, with a little bit less twist and a little bit thicker. But it's, when I won it, it was almost 600 grams of stuff that looked like this, which is really, really compacted, which I imagine is why it was in the raffle. And I won it for one raffle ticket, which cost me £1, which is, insanely cheap. But I do have to sort of spread the fibres out a bit like this. I've got over, 500 and something. It was almost 600 grams, and I've used a bit in sampling it. So, it's a lot of, not a lot, but it's a bit more of a faff than your usual spinning to get it ready to spin. But I should have almost enough for a jumper, maybe enough for a short jumper. Or if I put some other fibre with it, I could do some stripes or some colour work or something and make it enough for an actual jumper from, a almost free amount of fibre, which is very cool. So yeah, I've split it into 3, and I'm trying to get almost 200 grams on each bobbin, and maybe I will, fingers crossed, so that when I ply it, I only end up with about 3 or 4 skeins instead of 6 or 7, just to cut down on the number of ends I have to weave in. Because that was the great thing about this jumper, was that the fibre is feltable, so I could splice it together every time I had to make a join, so I didn't end up with masses and masses and masses of ends to weave in. That's also why knitting out of the really massive big balls of yarn is quite good, because there's not so many. No. You don't have to make so many joins when there's, I think there was one split in one of my big balls of the brown. So yeah, that was like 4 ends, 6 ends. But obviously I had to do more ends than that because I had to do stuff for the sleeves. Doing the sleeves meant cutting the yarn and rejoining, but yeah, so that cut down on ends, which is good, because weaving in ends is not my favourite thing. Cool. So that is all my spinning.
Right.
Chatting.
I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Right, now exciting part, stash enhancement.
Oh yes.
So, as per, I have my Stephen King Yarn Club from Down Sheepy Lane. I'm going to show you this month's yarn, so look away if you don't want to know. But the theme this month was Christine, and so the yarn is, the yarn's called Christine, and it looks like this. It's a sturdy sock, and it's a lovely colour, a kind of a pinky red. It's showing up a lot more pink on there than it actually is. It's actually quite red.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely pinky red colour, and as usual, I've got a whole load of gubbins with it as well. Always comes with a tea, which I appreciate. Some sweets, which I ate. They were love hearts. I ate them. It comes with a little Pepsi bottle stitch marker. Now, I don't know Christine very well, so I'm not sure of the significance. But it says Pepsi racks my complexion. So I'm guessing that's something from the book. That comes with that. It comes with a lovely tea bag. I love this whole independent yarn company sending you tea bags with your yarn. Which, smells really nice now I've taken it out of the bag. Good, isn't it? Very nice.
What's that tea called?
It's called Love. Organic rose, chamomile and lavender. And a badge as per with the name on. I've got a nice little collection now of badges. So that is this month's Sock Yarn Club. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. I kind of feel like I want to knit it into another sock head hat, but I might knit it into the sock head cowl. Because I don't know, I feel like it wants to be a garment rather than socks.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, so that is this month's Stephen King Sock Yarn Club, and the excitement, I can't even speak, I'm so excited. The exciting thing is Debbie from Down Sheepy Lane very, very kindly sent another pack of the Sock Yarn Club to give away to a podcast viewer. So in here, this is how it comes when you get it in the post. In here is everything that I just showed you. So there's the yarn, there's the little pack with the stitch marker and the tea and all that in.
Sweeties, which Em hasn't
Sweeties,
eaten.
I haven't eaten because this one's still closed. See, this one's shut. But this is our first ever giveaway prize. Yay. And it's amazing because this is, what a fantastic prize. Not only is it a skein of indie hand-dyed yarn, but there's loads of little extra bits that go with it too. So this is a cool prize. I'll hold this one up at the same time so you can see what it is you're getting. So that's what it is you're going to get. Now, in order to enter to win the prize, you need to first join our new Ravelry group, which I will leave a link for in the description down below.
When you say you will, you mean I will?
Well, no, because I put the description up when I upload the video, don't I? So,
yeah, but where do you copy said description from? The Google document, wherever you've written it?
But I usually put all the links and stuff at the top.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the Ravelry group will be in the description below. So come and join that first. And I'm going to open up a thread, and what we're going to ask you to do is just put in a picture of your most recent finished object, and just tell us what you knit it out of, is it for someone, something like that.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. We will see how many entries we have in a couple of weeks when we podcast again. We might leave it open a little bit longer depending on how many people have entered. But we will let you know. But yes, please come and join the Ravelry group. Please post in the giveaway thread and come and say hi. Yeah.
We're very excited to be having a giveaway.
I know, and what an awesome start for a giveaway. I mean, that's like, it's not like it's like a bag of stitch marks or something. It's like a full 100-gram skein of sock yarn plus extra bits and pieces that's only available in a sock yarn club. So you can't buy the yarn individually at the moment. I don't know if Debbie will make them available to be bought individually later, but at the moment you can only get it through the Stephen King Sock Yarn Club. So this is a fantastic prize, and we both want to say thank you so much to Debbie for being so thoughtful to send this. That's really, really kind of you, and we appreciate it greatly. You all need to go and check out her shop because she sells some fabulous stuff. So go to our Ravelry group and post in the giveaway thread, and we will pull a random number at some point in the future, and you will be the lucky winner of this exciting kit.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. The only other thing we were going to mention is that we will be at Unravel
on Friday.
Which
will probably be a day or two after this podcast is first comes out.
Yeah. So Unravel is a yarn fair in Farnham, in Surrey. We're both going for the first time. There are going to be some really fantastic vendors there, including Imi Florence from the Stranded podcast, the Stranded Yarns, which I'm excited because I'm probably going to get something from her. And lots of others. We are going on Friday.
Yes.
For the day. So we won't be there all weekend. We'll just be there for the day. So if you're going, I hope you have a really good time. Maybe we will see some people that we know. Yeah. Who knows? But I'll try and get some video, maybe some pictures and stuff. If you follow us on our Instagrams, which we haven't said. Oh yeah. If you follow us on our Instagram, mine is Elfie McDork.
Down in the description box. Mine is Rosa Rooney.
And we're both on Ravelry as well, but you have a different Ravelry.
Yeah, mine's just Rosaroo.
Yeah.
Ravelry.
We'll both probably put some Instagram pictures up over the Friday. And I imagine our haul on our next podcast is going to be quite significant.
Probably.
So prepare yourself for that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Only 36 minutes we've done so far. It's really less than that once you've edited it. So,
well, I am going to put in stuff of jumpers.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching episode number 15 already. Yes. We are 11 subscribers off 100. So it would be super fantastic if by the time we upload the next podcast and hopefully do the giveaway, we will have hit the 100 subscriber mark.
Because when we get 100 subscribers, we get to have a special URL. Like
that's not crazy.
youtube.com/something, you know, that's not a whole load of random letters and numbers.
So yeah, please come and poke around in the Ravelry group, enter the giveaway, which would be awesome. If you're going to unravel over the weekend, I hope you have a fantastic time and you buy lots of stuff. And we will see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.